Hey guys, guess what? Yet another repair that needs to be done. We had a repair that needed to be done under this sink earlier this week, and then last week, when we first got here, we had to repair this toilet, and now we have to repair it again. I thought I had fixed the problem with the leak, and it was continually running, and with RV toilets, they have that platform in the bottom of them that is always closed and sealed until you pull that handle to flush whatever is in the toilet down. So if it's continually running, it floods and floods the whole bathroom. So I thought I had that fixed. Now it's doing it again, and I have to tear it all back apart and hopefully repair the valve again so we don't have to go out and buy a new valve, because we were trying to save money. As living this lifestyle, you don't have a lot of disposable income to throw at repairs. So, let's get started. Alright you guys, so, crisis averted. Toilet now works, for now. It's not overflowing anymore. I believe we solved the problem. So, it ended up just being that the valve needed to be cleaned out a little bit, and it should work for a little while longer. I believe we're missing an O-ring, but I'm not 100% sure on that. I have to do more research on that. And yeah, so right now it's working. We'll see how it goes, and hopefully, well, in the future we'll probably have to replace the valve. But for right now, gonna let it go because it's working. So, thanks for following along. Who's starting?
20 days in. What? 20.
Alright guys, so 20 days on the road. We've settled down, and these 20 days have had a lot of problems that we didn't anticipate when we took off.
Nope.
And this video, we're going to talk about.
So the biggest problem was, well, we'll just say water.
Yeah. Having running water or water in the tank has caused the most problems for us so far, because things move when you're driving it or towing this trailer down the road, and we did tow it from Wisconsin to Florida, so we were on the road for a long time.
Yeah. 20 days. And I have to say, I really love having a toilet, but I also really hate having a toilet.
Yeah, it has its perks, because if you need to go, you can just go. But it also, we've had problems with the valve on the back of it, and this could be very strictly because it's a used camper, but we've had problems with it filling up and not stopping. And it's only been when we're hooked up to an actual water source at a park, so because the water pump isn't running. But oh, it's raining outside. I thought it was flooding right now.
That's actually happened.
Yep.
When we first arrived at this campground, or I guess it's considered an RV park, I remember hearing something, and I walked back, and there was just water all over the bathroom, which our bathroom isn't very big, but in that small amount of time of me noticing that there's water on the floor, it already started moving from the bathroom out into the kitchen.
And then we had water flooding all the way down through the whole house here, and since it's not that good of a trailer, the water just went and found a way out, which is kind of depressing in its own way. But yeah, so we mopped up the floor and had to go shut off the water. We didn't have water the rest of that night because it was late. We just went to bed, and then the next day I tore it apart, and the valve didn't look like it had any problems with it. It just because it's a very simple setup. A RV toilet, you have your platform in the bottom of the toilet. For lack of a better term, I don't know what else to call it, that acts as your seal for when you're going down the road so it doesn't smell or anything like that or splash up. And then there's a valve on the back that gets triggered and lets water come in the same time you flush the toilet. So if that platform is locked in place and the water's coming in, it has nowhere to go but up, so it starts coming up. And that was the problem. That valve, for whatever reason, was locked open, so it was just continually filling and spilling over. So that happened to us once when we first got here, and now today it happened again. So it's a simple fix, but we aren't really sure what's causing it. There doesn't seem to be anything wrong with the valve itself. It's almost like there's something that just kind of jams it up a little bit, and it just needs to be taken apart, cleaned, and put back together, which is just a pain.
Yeah, and the one thing I appreciate is when something goes wrong, Mike is just like, all right, get my tools, let's go fix it. And my brain is
spitting up.
Is she? Oh, that's cute. Ow. Mom life.
Right.
So he'll go fix it, and I'm like, this problem, and my brain just gets like overwhelmed, and part of it is lack of sleep because of this sweet nugget, and my brain overloads, and he just fixes it in 25 minutes, and then it's all good. And all good as in it's fixed for now, but this is an old trailer, so we just have to remember like things are gonna go wrong.
Yep.
And I have to keep that in mind. Like once we redid this whole thing, I thought it was like we're gonna hit the road and everything's good.
Yeah, well, ideally that would be how it goes, but it's a 2001, is that right?
2002, yeah.
2002. And
18 years old.
So yeah, 18 years old. It's got its quirks. The floor is not level. We tore this thing apart and fixed quite a bit of the water damage that was already here, but we realized earlier that we have, due to all this rain, there is still a leak on the roof somehow, and it's a little water's dripping down the wall currently. So that's another thing why we have to fix after this rainstorm passes, because you can't fix it when it's raining.
But sorry.
Go ahead.
The good thing is we bought this thing cheap. We knew there were going to be issues. I mean, we paid $1,400 for it itself, and then we put in maybe $1,500
about that, yeah.
In repairs and renovations.
Material. Yeah, we did all the work ourselves.
With
help from our family and friends. So that really helped.
It is what it is, and so we're trying to weigh like being grateful, and then also like
dealing with all the problems that come
there's
up.
A lot.
And another problem that we had was underneath our sink. I installed a water filter for our drinking water, so that there's another inline water filter, and that was my fault. I didn't tighten it, the adapters and connections tight enough, and it was a steady drip that we did not catch until our very nice neighbor next door told us about it, because he was outside and he noticed that there was a little bit of a drip coming down. Luckily, it was just going down the wall and going out the same spot that all the other water did, which there is a hole for drain valves, and I believe that's where all the water goes out. So, not the end of the world, but at least we caught it, and it wasn't completely permeating the whole floor underneath. It was just a little bit on that back wall. Hopefully it dries out and it's not a problem. But
we're also in Florida, so it seems
yes.
like we've entered the wet season, which I should Google and see if that's a real thing, but it's just kind of wet and cold right now.
Yes, it's
And
been a lot of rain, a lot of humidity, and pretty chilly actually for a Florida season.
For a vacation,
we didn't expect it to get down to 40 degrees at night
30.
and 30 degrees at night. So yeah, it's just been a lot of learning as we go and rolling with the punches, and so far it's been working. Hopefully we're over the hump of new things, but from our research, it never ends, and you're just gonna have to always keep tools on hand and
be handy.
Yeah.
Or have someone who's handy.
Luckily I have some experience with maintenance and repairs in general.
Yeah.
And general construction. So I should be able to fix most of the things in this camper now that I understand how everything in here operates, but we'll just have to see as we go.
But yeah, the other thing I wanted to talk about, well, there's kind of two. One of them is van life seems so appealing right now because, we did go a couple days without showering, and it wasn't that bad.
No, we do have some weekly obligations that require us to shower.
We'd probably shower anyways.
Yeah,
but...
yeah. So we couldn't go complete van life as far as mobile all the time because we always have those obligations. So we would have to work out some type of campground arrangement or other way to shower, whether it be a gym or maybe having a shower in a van, which is an alternative with an on-demand water heater. That's the other thing. Our water heater doesn't really work that well.
Oh,
we have to figure out what that problem is. I believe it's they have these rods inside them, and we had 4 of them that we replaced, and I don't know where they got placed when we started this trip down. I believe I just have to replace one of those, but we are gonna see. Other than that, we don't have hot water at the moment, so luckily our campground does have nice showers and sinks to wash up in and everything else.
I took a shower last night and it was so nice to have hot water.
So you learn to appreciate the simple things in life.
Yeah.
So.
But the other thing I wanted to talk about was we actually met the family who live in the Titanic bus up in Panama City Beach while they were on their way leaving Florida, and I think they're heading over to California. Yeah.
Yep.
So one thing that they mentioned, which we realized 5 days in, is this is not a vacation.
Yeah.
It is, but it's not, because the reason we did this life is to have that feeling of freedom and to really enjoy life more than we were before.
Yeah. Not get so caught up in the trivial things of life. Just be happy with the basics, and that's definitely, we're learning that. I mean,
water is good.
Yes.
Water is bad.
When you appreciate a hot shower, that, I feel you're back to your simple roots. I mean, compared to all the other trivial things that we used to worry about.
Yeah, but we're also really getting out in nature and enjoying everything that is around us, I feel like, and then just enjoying our small space together. But it's not like we're going out to dinner every single night.
Yeah, going to all the local attractions. We do hit some of them. We do try to keep a small budget for exploring the area, but we definitely aren't out there living large, eating extravagantly and everything else. But we do enjoy a couple local dinners. Like the last night we were in Orlando, we did go out to Celebration and hit up a nice restaurant with her grandparents as just a last hurrah before we left Orlando. Mm-hmm. So we do have a small budget set aside for that, but otherwise we try to keep it simple. Eat in the camper.
Go to Walmart. Get groceries.
Or Aldi or wherever the cheapest place is to get the cheapest groceries, and try to keep it as simple and cheap as possible so we can continue doing this. That was our whole plan. We want to make this life sustainable, not just a 2-month vacation and then we're back to working all the time.
So that's just the difference between on the off hours when we're not posting videos or sharing something on Instagram, we are doing work. We're cleaning constantly because it gets messy in here fast.
Small spaces get dirty fast. We found that out.
But it's so easy to clean. You take 20 minutes or less and you pick up really quick and it looks and feels brand new. So,
and then this little one keeps us busy the rest of the time. So,
yes, she does.
yeah, but that's our 20-day review of full-time living in a camper.
20 days.
Yep.